Alright, this is a video response to SageBodisattva video that he just made on karma and recycling consciousnesses. I like the majority of the things you said in the video, but I find myself more and more, as I'm listening to your videos, I don't agree with some of your ideas, like reincarnation for one. I don't believe that there's such thing as reincarnation. I don't believe in recycling consciousnesses either. You claim not to believe in a soul or a spirit, and you say that it's called consciousness. Not what people are mistaking as a soul or a spirit is actually consciousness. But then you still go on to say that that if you have bad karma during your life, that your consciousness will be recycled into a new body, basically. So you'll be reborn. And if you had bad karma in your previous life, then the bad karma will carry on to your next life, and you'll continue living in, a poor state, suffering. Basically, it sounds to me like you're saying that until you figure it out, you use your tools of knowledge and understanding to improve yourself, to benefit yourself and others, and get good karma, that you're basically doomed to endlessly repeat this life experience, And I don't agree with that. I think that there's only one life, and that there is such thing as karma, but it only affects you in your current life. It doesn't go with you and follow you anywhere. Once you die, you don't have a consciousness anymore. You just go into nothingness. You just disappear. So you're not punished basically for your bad acts in your life after you die. You can only be punished for what you do during your life. If you manage to commit suicide or you die before you can be punished for the things that you've done, you're going to get away with it. And so I disagree with you on the other point about suicide is not the way to get out of this game if you don't like it. I think you're wrong because, like I said, I think there's only one life, and the karma only affects this life. So if you commit suicide, that is the way out. So I disagree with you on that. You said that people aren't born into bad circumstances by any other reason than the fact that they have had bad karma basically in their last life. I mean, that's what I'm extrapolating from what you're saying. I don't agree with that. I think that most people can agree that where you're born and into what circumstances you're born has to do purely with chance. I just so happened to be born in New England to a middle-class white family, and I have this, that, and the other as things that are attached to my circumstance of my birth, my location, and my everything. But I just as easily could have been born in New Zealand or Canada or Australia or Africa or India or anywhere, and it's pure chance. So you gave the example of the guy with one arm who's a crack addict and he's homeless and he was abused by his family and whatnot, and saying it's his fault because of it, he has bad karma. It's not. They are born innocent. He didn't do anything to deserve being in that position, and I think you're wrong to implicate that it has anything to do other than chance. Let's see. What else do I disagree with that you said? Oh yeah. So basically I'm taking this out of what you're saying, but I want you to clarify this. So by your line of reasoning, if I have bad karma, if I develop bad karma during my life, and then I die, I will be recycled into a new consciousness to continue on with my life experiment, Well, so are you saying, actually I want to ask you, what do you think happens to people who have good karma? What happens if you die having led a good life and you had good karma? Where do you go? If you say there's no soul and there's no spirit, you can't claim that they go to heaven. So what do you say happens to those people? By your line of reasoning, actually, if I wanted to get what I want, which is more life, I want immortality basically. I know it sounds selfish, and it is. I'll admit it's selfish. By your line of reasoning, I should maybe from now on I should strive to have bad karma so that when I die I can be recycled. That's what I want. I want to be recycled so that I can live another life. I'll just keep having bad lives, bad lives, bad lives as long as I can keep going. As long as I can still have more life, I'll suffer endlessly, in indulgence and in disillusion. I don't want my life to end any more than I think anybody else's than anyone else does. So, yeah, why don't you clarify that for me? Should we just take your word for it that there's another life after this? How do you know this? Where did you get that knowledge? Where is your proof for this recycling consciousness idea? Are you going to quote some other philosophers? Can you explain yourself a little further? Because it sounds to me like you're just, usually you sound pretty reasonable, pretty with it, but when I hear you saying things like that, it just sounds like you're jumping on the boat of a Buddhist. I mean, I know your name is pretty indicative that you're some kind of Buddhist, but usually, I'm an atheist, and I get my beliefs from thinking logically about things. Nobody has proof that there's another life. Nobody has ever came back with any real proof other than just their word. That there's another life after this, or that that there's any such thing as reincarnation. There's no scientific proof for that whatsoever. So it's unfounded and untrue as far as I've seen. So I'd like to hear you explain yourself a little more. I think that's a good set of objections that I have there. I want to hear what you have to say. All right. Well, respond if you'd like. See ya.